All right, now shifting gears to the most important part of every show. Today's guest is Glenn Dayton with the North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. I like to have guests each week that hopefully help y'all maybe save a little money or improve your lives. Glenn's actually my personal agent. No, I'm not getting any type of discount for having him on. I just know he's a good agent. In my prior life, when I practiced law, I sued a lot of insurance companies. I know a good agent from a bad agent. Glenn is a very good agent. Today, we're going to be talking about auto insurance in the state of North Carolina. That's his state. We will have a guest on another day to discuss auto insurance in Georgia, because the more you know, the safer you really are in this world. Glenn, welcome to the show.
Rick, thanks for having me.
What are the basics required by North Carolina in insuring a car? Let's say I have a car. What's the state saying I've got to have?
Well, the state of North Carolina breaks it down as 30, 60, 25. And what that means is $30,000 for a single injury inside an accident, up to $60,000 for multiple individuals that are injured in one accident, and $25,000 for the replacement or the fixing of a collision for a single vehicle, $25,000.
I've got to think that these requirements are an old law, because I'll ask this, but I'm pretty sure myself, along with everyone listening, know. Are these minimum liability requirements in North Carolina? 25,000 for
a new vehicle.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, if you were shopping in 1980.
Yeah, that's why I wonder when these numbers were set, because even $30,000, I practiced personal injury litigation in the 90s and early 2000s. I can promise you that wouldn't have been enough back in those days.
You think about a simple broken leg, $30,000, an ER trip, an ambulance, rehabilitation afterwards, back to the doctors, $30,000 is easy, but can you imagine if it was more severe? Okay,
Sure.
$30,000, even $60,000 for multiple insureds that are injured.
Not just that, but I have seen on multiple occasions automobile accidents and the helicopter having to fly in to pick them up and take them out. That's not cheap, that helicopter ride.
No,
You think an ambulance is expensive on 4 tires? Try it with a helicopter.
Absolutely, absolutely. And $25,000 for a new vehicle. Has anyone been on a car lot in the last 3 weeks? $25,000. What can you buy? And these are the things that I constantly have to bring to light, and I have to do the questions. You mentioned being a good agent. A good agent asks the questions that makes the insureds think about when things happen, not when they're paying.
Right. Yeah, because we all hope that it never happens to us, but I can't tell you how many times it does.
Yes.
Yes. It's unfortunate. What else? Let's cover, what does being a member of Farm Bureau mean? You sell insurance, and I know there are different lines. Tell me about Farm Bureau insurance.
Well, that's a great question. I'm very proud to be a member of Farm Bureau myself. Having the ability to purchase insurance from Farm Bureau, first you have to be a member, and that's a $25 annual fee that gives you the privilege of being a member. Now, a little bit about the Federation. The Federation was founded in 1936 as a nonprofit with its main goal to be an advocate for farmers and local communities. It's represented in all 100 counties of North Carolina and stands as the largest farm organization in North Carolina to this very day. Farm Bureau offers scholarships to college students, donates books, and offers grants to local teachers, continues to develop the next generation of farm leaders, and ensures elected officials protect the interests of our members. But that's just what they were starting and doing. There's many benefits in being a member. I'm looking at the brochure here. You get discounts at CAT, at Ford, John Deere, Case, Granger, Cito, Budget, Choice. You can even go to Dollywood and get some money off.
Something that we really hadn't, we spoke a little before we came on live. community. Y'all are very involved in the community. You do a lot in our community in Hayesville. I think y'all sponsor a Athlete of the Week, and I know you were on previously. Y'all were working hard. I forget the cause.
The Clay County Sheriff's Department.
Right, y'all were. Oh,
We collected the stuffed animals for the children.
right. Y'all do a tremendous community outreach. You do a lot of good in our community.
We love our community. We're very involved in Clay County, in the school system, with our sheriff's department, with our Clay County employees. We're very involved and very concerned about the safety and well-being of our Clay County residents.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I've noticed in the paper y'all are always in there helping someone with various donations and activities. All right, back to the main part. What else can be covered on your automobile policy?
Well, it's a good question. You can include an RV, whether you're towing it or whether you're driving it. You can include an RV on your auto policy, with limitations, of course. You can also include a four-wheeler, as long as it's a four-wheeler used on your personal property. You can't drive it down the street and it be covered. Okay. The same with a golf cart. You can put a golf cart on your auto policy. Again, for local personal property use.
Now, I live in a subdivision that has a lot of owners with golf carts. That's because I live on a golf course and folks take them out. I would be covered if I wrecked it in my yard, but now if I took it on the golf course, do you know if I'd be covered?
I'd be very careful to read the fine print, brother.
Okay, well, I don't have one. I haven't played golf in years. I just live there. It's pretty. I work 6 days a week, and church is Sunday, so it's not like I'm out golfing. But
it might be the best to let the golf course take care of the repairs and the maintenance on those vehicles.
All right. So an automobile policy will cover an RV. You can get RV coverage and four-wheeler and golf cart if on your property.
Absolutely. You can use a separate policy if you use like a four-wheeler, which you use a four-wheeler.
Yeah.
You can have it on an inland marine policy or a business auto policy.
Okay, very good, very good. In my job, I bought a Kubota a while back because I'm always having it. You know, you take folks out to look at 100 acres. Walking, that's rather difficult. But if you put them on a Kubota, take them up and down these hills, it's a lot easier.
I would imagine the terrain is a lot better in the Kubota than hiking.
It is. Why are teenage drivers charged more on their parents' auto policy?
That's a good question, Rick. I think we all look forward to our teenagers getting their permits and driving, and it cuts down on our transportation and driving them ourselves to their functions, whether it be church or school or athletic and so forth. What an insurance company has to take into consideration is the experience of a driver. And there's always referred to as an inexperienced driving surcharge for teenagers that are just acquiring their license. And I might add that surcharge is normally for 3 years. It's 3 years from the time that they receive their permit, not from the age of 16. Many kids don't get their license till 17.
Right.
The 3-year clock starts when they get their permit.
Oh, for example, both my sons went to the School of Math and North Carolina School of Math and Science. When they turned 16, they got their license. They weren't allowed to have the vehicle over there, a drive on campus. Now that was their junior and senior year of high school. Then they went to Chapel Hill, didn't have a vehicle their freshman year. So that would have been the 3 years ticking, so to speak.
It would have been ticking. So in the experience that they have, if they exhibited safe driving habits, no accidents, no tickets, then the consideration for that extra surcharge is considered to be removed.
That I always, when they became sophomores, I gave them a choice. Dad would help them Mom and Dad would help them get a vehicle, or they could do a trip. Well, I looked at the insurance that I had saved, them not owning a vehicle all those years. And fortunately, one of them chose to go work at a hospital in Costa Rica, and the other one chose to do missions work in China. So it was, I probably would have chosen a car at that age, but they chose wisely, I thought. So
the experiences are second to none.
yeah, it saved me literally 4 years of insurance. Going that route. Le- How is a claim handled with Farm Bureau? Let's say someone gets in, well, we're talking automobile insurance. Let's say I have a fender bender. I'm on Highway 69 and they stop a little quick in front of me and I tap them from behind. How is a claim handled?
Well, we always encourage to make sure that you get the law enforcement involved and get a police statement and so forth and
Okay.
report.
right.
And then at that point, they need to just contact our staff up front. And
Okay.
be a tremendous help. Our staff is great.
Very good. Today's guest is Glenn Dayton with North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Glenn, in North Carolina, there are a lot of animal-related accidents. Actually, one of my first cases involved a car hitting a cow that had gotten out. No one owns a cow when it gets involved in an accident. I'll just tell you now, trying to prove whose cow it is, there's where the challenge is. Are they treated, if I'm driving down the road and a cow's gotten out, are they treated differently, accidents involving animals?
Absolutely are. It's not one of the big keys is a police report is not necessary. Okay. But what we do encourage is to create a picture scene of that accident. In other words, the surrounding area, the animal, the vehicle damage, and so forth, and then get with like I said a little earlier, get with our staff up front at the office and get the body shop estimates and so forth.
All right. What are the determining factors in the price and rates of auto insurance?
Well, there's determining factors on both the insured and the insurer.
Sure.
The determining factor on the insureds have to do with date of birth, driving experience, records as far as traffic violations, accidents, and so forth, the vehicle itself to be insured. These are things that are taken into consideration by the insured.
How about speeding tickets?
Speeding tickets definitely are a no-no as far as auto insurance is concerned. But we look at them, each and every one, as an individual basis.
Sure.
The insurer looks at, as a company-wise, what they look at is the rising costs of the inflation of parts and labor and distribution chains as far as those parts getting to and from to the body shop. So they're wanting to. The Farm Bureau wants to be in the business for a very long time. They're very committed to the state of North Carolina, and so to charge a favorable rate for the consumer, but also taking consideration that we want to be here for a long time.
Again, speeding tickets. I need to slow down. They're a bad thing.
Rick, avoid the blue lights.
Okay. All right, I'll avoid the blue light because they will pull you over in Clay County. I've never been in a county that is so policed. The troopers, sheriff. All right, moving on. Why Farm Bureau versus online? And you see a bunch, and it's true in real estate, all industries. This online alternatives for realtors, online alternatives for auto coverage. Tell me a little about the differences.
Well, more and more the online coverages are catching up with even the price. The old adage was save money,
Right.
But their price is catching up with the stores like Farm Bureau and so forth. The key that I would really want to get out is they don't have the ability online to ask the questions that probe and find the personal needs of each and every one of the insureds, the clients, the members that are out there that need insurance. You don't know by owning more than one vehicle that you might not need towing insurance. I mean, you might not need rental insurance,
Right.
but you need towing insurance. Well, the only way to know that is for a good agent to ask the probing questions.
Okay, and that's not something they've got online.
Exactly.
I've got you. Why should an umbrella coverage be considered in addition to your auto coverage? I'm huge on, as an attorney,
That's such an awesome question. Liability in our sue happy country of America today,
God
as well
bless
as I do,
America.
Rick.
God bless America.
Everybody's looking for that free buck, and the way that people are seeking that is to sue past the limits of liability.
Sure.
$30,000-$60,000 worth of liability. What is that? I mean, and
No
who is
amount of
responsible over and above that? The insured
Right.
is, unless they have additional coverage such as an umbrella. The umbrella policy can add an additional $1 million worth of liability coverage. And is it for the accident? Is it for the insured? Is it for the person involved, the injured? Yes, it's all for them. Most importantly, it's for the member. If they have assets that they've taken all life, their lifelong assets that they've accumulated, if they consider them dear to their hearts, liability coverage is necessary.
Some folks, do you have an idea of what the cost would be off the top of your head? I know this is off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head, I mean, if you've got 2 vehicles, a home, and a boat, it might cost you $190 a year to have an umbrella policy.
Wow.
For $1 million.
If you get anything from today's program, folks, get an umbrella coverage. Talk with your agent. If you're in North Carolina, give Glenn a call. What is your number, by the way?
There's 2 numbers. The store number for our office is 828-389-8063. But most importantly, every single one of my clients has my cell phone number because they need to be able to reach me at all times. 828-835-0960.
Folks, thanks for listening. As always, we really appreciate you tuning in.